Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Yang Bin Dai, and it's an honor to be here to present our research on trust in virtual agents, exploring the role of stylization and voice. This research was a collaborative effort with researchers from Beihang University, Tsinghua University, Universitat Hamburg, and Migu Company, Limited. In this presentation, I will discuss the impact of stylization and voice on user trust and other perceptions in virtual agents. I am excited to share our findings with you and hope they provide valuable insights into designing more trustworthy virtual agents. In recent years, there have been significant advancements in data-driven methods for stylizing virtual agents. These methods allow us to create highly realistic and customizable virtual agents efficiently. A representative work is the exemplar-based 3D portrait stylization method proposed by researchers from the City University of Hong Kong, which enables the reconstruction of stylized 3D avatars from a single portrait image effortlessly. However, limited research has focused on the impact of these novel data-driven stylized avatars or agents on user perceptions in VR environments. Moreover, when it comes to user experience, the alignment between visual and auditory cues is crucial. Previous research has demonstrated that the audiovisual match enhances the overall perception of the agent in a persuasive speech, making it more believable and engaging. However, in a simulated lunar survival task, incongruent smiling across visual and auditory channels made the virtual agent perceived as less credible and attractive. We aim to further identify which kind of the voice can match these data-driven stylized agents, and clarify the impact of this match on user perceptions. Trust is known as a critical factor in human-agent interaction. According to Meyer's trust model, ability, benevolence, and integrity are key elements in establishing trust. These factors, along with the trustor's propensity and perceived risk, interact to form the outcome of trust. Based on this model, researchers from Meta Reality Labs explored the impact of avatar stylization on trust and found that different avatar styles had no significant impact on user trust. The impact of data-driven stylized virtual agents combined with voice cues on user trust still needs to be further clarified. Hence, we use advanced data-driven methods to reconstruct stylized agents and combine them with synthesized voices to study their effects on users' trust. We focus on the following key research questions. 1. How does the style and voice of the virtual agents affect user trust, and does it vary by identity? 2. How does the style and voice of the virtual agents affect users' perceived realism, and does it vary by identity? 3. How does the audiovisual match created by style and voice affect social presence and empathy? To address these questions, we proposed a pipeline that uses speech videos, such as TED Talks, combined with data-driven approaches to stylize and animate virtual agents. We first used the frontal photos of the speakers in the videos to reconstruct their corresponding mesh, and then convert it into a metahuman using the Mesh-to-Metahuman tool. Metahuman Creator is employed to create materials and ensure that their appearance characteristics are as similar as possible to the real speakers. For animation, we extracted the original audio and text from the video. We used ChatGPT to detect emotions corresponding to the text. Then, we input these emotions as labels along with the extracted audio into the animation generation model. This process produces facial expressions and body movements full of emotions to ensure that the virtual agent's expressions of emotions are as consistent as possible with the speakers in the videos. To reduce system latency, these animations are sent to the Unreal Live Link plugin for playback via UDP socket once a frame is generated. The picture, C, shows an agent expressing happiness. For investigating the impact of stylization combined with voice on user trust, we conducted a 3x3x2 mixed design user experiment. As shown in the table, the within subject variables are style and voice, and the between subject variable is identity. The real style is matched with the authentic voice, while the synthetic voice is matched with the no stylization one. The right figure shows all the combinations of identities and styles. In order to create experimental stimuli, we selected some clips from the videos corresponding to the three identities. Using the proposed pipeline, we reconstructed the stylized agents and drove their speech animations. For the synthesized voices, we used Microsoft Azure Speech and employed the SSML markup language to make the pauses and speech rate as consistent as possible with the original sound of the selected videos. Here are two examples of our experimental stimuli, showing the performance of stylized agents' original voice and non-stylized agents with synthesized voice.
If you look at life like that, it's maybe possible that it's cool to grow old. Are we ready for pro-aging, not anti-aging products?
What can we do? Honestly, do anything. Do anything. Look at someone. Make eye contact with someone who feels invisible. Or go online and find someone who's doing something that's positive. Amplify them.
Our experiment follows the steps below. After providing demographic data and informed consent, 27 participants divided equally into 3 identity-based groups. Before the formal experiment, participants underwent brief virtual environment acclimation. During the trials, 6 rounds of speech stimuli were administered, with physiological recordings and questionnaire completion following each stimulus. The total duration of the experiment was about half an hour, and finally, a semi-structured interview was conducted to obtain participants' experience. We employed both objective and subjective measures. The subjective questionnaire included trust, perceived realism, empathy, social presence, and satisfaction, along with their sub-items. Objective physiological data were measured using galvanic skin response. Let's move on to the results of our experiment. This table shows all the significant main effects or interaction effects found in the subjective questionnaires. Next, we will discuss each result in more detail. Based on Meyer's trust model, we evaluated user trust from 5 aspects: ability, benevolence, integrity, trust, and propensity. First, no significant differences in trust propensity across different participants' groups were found, eliminating the influence of participants' propensity. Style had a significant main effect on all items in the trust scale. For the trust item, the real style scored significantly higher than no stylization, with no significant difference between real and stylization. This indicates that our stylization method increased users' trust. Additionally, the elder identity was rated as more trustworthy than the young identity in both real and no stylization conditions. Voice had a significant main effect only on ability, indicating that voice had almost no impact on users' trust. Perceived realism was assessed in 4 aspects: appearance, voice, movements, and overall. We found that style had significant main effects on all items, and the scores for the real style were significantly higher than those for no stylization except for the voice realism. Voice realism was significantly affected by voice, with authentic voice was rated more realistic than synthesized one. Additionally, style and voice interacted significantly on overall realism, with real style perceived as more realistic than others regardless of the voice. Style significantly affected empathy, with real style scoring highest. A significant interaction effect between style and voice was also found. The match between real style and authentic voice significantly outperformed other matches. The results show that the audio-visual match played a significant role in enhancing users' empathy scores. Both style and identity had a significant main effect on social presence. Elder identity was rated significantly higher than middle-aged, and real style was rated significantly higher than no stylization. Unlike the results of empathy, the audiovisual match did not show a significant impact on social presence. The measure of user satisfaction is divided into attraction and interaction willingness. Identity significantly affected only interaction willingness, with elder identity preferred over young identity. Style significantly affected both attraction and interaction willingness, with real style being rated more attractive and more likely to engage interaction than other styles. When users interacted with real style virtual agents, the average GSR value was the lowest, while it was the highest under the stylized virtual agents. The elder identity also led to lower average GSR levels. The results of GSR partially corroborate the results of the subjective questionnaire, as users may have less emotional arousal or cognitive load under high trust levels. All measures were significantly positively correlated with trust, with the lowest correlation observed for voice realism and the highest for willingness to interact. In conclusion, our data-driven stylization method significantly enhances user trust, with no significant difference compared to realistic styles. Additionally, voice had no significant main effect on trust, and participants were more inclined to trust older agents. Perceived realism was primarily influenced by style, while the audiovisual match between style and voice significantly affected perceived voice realism and empathy. Our study offers insights into incorporating data-driven methods in designing trustworthy virtual agents and further validates audiovisual integration theory. Looking ahead, we plan to expand our research to include a wider age range of participants and further investigate the factors that contribute to higher trust in elder agents. We also aim to explore ways to improve the emotional expressiveness of synthesized voices. Thank you all for your attention and interest in our work.